Michael Burry finally came on a podcast, which is pretty great to see because he's never on. I took a good listen to it, and it was interesting. We could talk about Palantir. We could talk about NVIDIA, the stock market, the housing market. But one thing I wanted to point out about that podcast, it was his voice did not match what I expected, number one. The way he looks, I thought I was going to get someone with a really deeper voice for some reason. It was very high-pitched, very nerdy, but obviously he's a freaking genius. So
You're trying to call Michael Burry a bitch? You're trying to call Michael Burry a bitch?
No. That guy's badass. I wasn't expecting that form, but he came off super cool, friendly, like someone that actually would do really well on a podcast. And I was surprised that he
came off pretty charismatic. He came off pretty charismatic.
He's like, I don't do good on these things, and he did pretty damn good. Like he was actually interesting to listen to. Yeah. So
he's
I don't know why he said that.
Seem like he wasn't like a weird autistic guy being way
better than Elon Musk. Way better than Elon Musk. Way better than Peter Thiel.
I watch him. You know why? Because he leans into it. He thinks it's like cute. It's kind of cute that I'm like a little autistic, and it's like, dude, like I don't think he was, and he just like leaned into it, and now he's like stuck acting like a fucking autist. But anyway,
no, I think he is. But I found Michael Burry really cool to listen to, and I was like, wow, I want to hear more from this guy, even though I've always liked hearing from him. Some things I disagreed with the big audience of what they try to picture him as, like you sometimes and your friends. But we can get into that right now. What did you think about Michael?
Well, like we said, very eloquent, like super charismatic.
Genius.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I also didn't. I think I've heard him talk once before, maybe, but I guess I wasn't too surprised about his voice.
I never have.
Like, he's a finance guy, dude. I'm not expecting a finance guy to sound like a fucking Chad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not expecting that.
They do. A lot of them do sound like Chads. The ones that make it up there.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, the ones I've met. Yeah.
All right. Well, guess what? Those guys aren't Michael Burry. That's why they're not up there. Okay.
That's true. I mean, some of them are actually up there. I'm talking about like high up guys at Goldman. But moving on, UBS. Anyways, Mike Burry.
No, so off rip. I love how it's Michael Burry versus Palantir. I love how he is this like symbol for taking down Palantir. And so, what does Palantir represent? Palantir represents, to some people, it represents the deep state. Even though they claim that they're fighting the deep state, you know, they represent like a Trojan horse kind of thing. You know, nobody trusts them.
Now they do. And now that's what the branding of it is now. It wasn't before. That wasn't what the audience.
Nobody knew they existed. Nobody knew they existed, and they also weren't providing the AI technology for the facial recognition to bomb the Palestinians before then, right? So once they started doing that, that's what Palantir has been doing. And guess what? Israel is pissed.
Why?
Because it's not even working.
Talking about it?
No, because their shit doesn't even work that well. That's not it. Like, you know.
Are you sure Palantir's out there? I think it is. I actually did hear that.
No, it is out there, but Israel is mad. Their shit is not working that well. Oh, sorry. This is with Anduril, which is Palantir adjacent.
Anduril is not Palantir.
It's Palantir adjacent. Peter Thiel pretty much is like, you know, he's like the Tony Stark of the MCU. If we're talking American deep state, military industrial complex, CIA, like it's the MCU, Peter Thiel is basically Tony Stark. You know,
Palmer cool, Lucky, Tony Stark.
Yeah, no, I'm making it cool right now.
Elon Musk too, though.
Elon Musk,
PayPal Mafia like, people.
Elon Musk is like Bruce Banner. He's like the Hulk.
Okay, weird. Why? Because he's just.
Well, he's like another genius too. You know what I mean? But I know you would. No, you know what? Sorry. Peter Thiel is like Nick Fury.
Don't know who that is.
He's Sammy Jackson. He's the black dude that put them all together. He put all the Avengers together. And then you're right.
I only watched one movie of the Avengers, so I don't really know who that is.
All right. What I'm trying to say is that all of these heroes, they relied on Tony Stark for technology and stuff like that, right? Peter Thiel funded Anduril. Like, he found Palmer Luckey. He's like, dude, you're a genius. And if I'm not mistaken, Palmer Luckey said it on Joe Rogan that you know, through Peter Thiel, he was funded. You know,
yeah, it's like InQtel sort of.
Yes, exactly.
I guess the new InQtel. Right.
But Palmer Luckey had created. I'm not saying like, oh, he's just a puppet of Peter Thiel. No, there's people that say that kind of stuff. But no, Palmer Luckey had created Meta goggles, like with the things that they're selling, the Oculus Rift, the Oculus, the Meta goggles. Meta bought him out for like $1 billion, you know, and so. But apparently, and I could be wrong, but apparently the Israelis or maybe the Ukrainians or somebody is not too
It's
happy
Ukraine.
with.
I think it's more in Ukraine war, dude.
I don't know, dude. I think it's both, but I think it is the Ukrainians that are mad. I think the Ukrainians would be the ones that have the audacity to be like, "This is not working," you know. Um, so, but yeah, apparently the thing is not working too well. But that's with time, you know. Um, but yeah, so
Well,
that's another
Michael
company that's
Burry, Michael Burry did say on that podcast that the media blew it out of proportion. That he didn't really short it $1 billion. That was based on the
right. It was
stock
like 10
price at
million
that time.
or like 7 million.
It
Yeah, it
was
was like
less. It was it was little. It was nothing compared. I think it was 10 million. It wasn't a
dude, it
billion,
was
but
like 10
the
million.
media, yeah, they used the stock price at the time that happened, and they multiplied it by all the shorts he did, and they called it $1 billion, but it's really not $1 billion. It was really 10 million.
Yeah, but all that did was kind of show his hand a little early because he does feel that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
That's
of AI, he
basically
doesn't think AI is as he thinks it's like the .com era. Same thing with Nvidia, and he shitted on Bitcoin, which I was kind of happy to see because the Bitcoin bros are against the stock market, but he shitted on Bitcoin because I saw in a statistic that 87% of the Nasdaq, the way wherever it goes, that's 87% of it is correlated to Bitcoin. Except when the Nasdaq falls, Bitcoin goes down even further, more severe, and goes up in an even more advanced
that's
way. So
interesting.
it's all interconnected. But Michael Burry shitted on Bitcoin
Yeah.
also.
No, I saw that, which I found very interesting as well. He says it's a scam, it's a waste. Don't even bother. He's been
He's
holding
been
gold and
buying gold.
yeah, he's been
Yeah.
holding gold and silver. He's very open about it. Um, and yeah, he seems pretty confident with his position on Palantir, which is very interesting. And again, like I said, uh, you know, just because people that don't know too much about this are kind of rallying behind Michael Burry because he kind of represents this thing of like, oh, this company's not actually worth what it's worth. You know what I mean? Like, just because that's going on doesn't mean that he's wrong. You know, he is right. You know, people said that about Tesla for years, but Tesla eventually turned a profit, but it didn't turn a profit for years, and its stock was very high, I believe.
Years, many years.
My friend
Yeah.
was.
It's mhm. Go
You
ahead.
might know a little bit more about that than I do, but I was just saying, like, you know, so who knows what's going to happen? But like I said, I do very much enjoy that. You know, Michael Burry is very openly talking about these things, and you know, I love the memes that people make of the Christian Bale character portrayal. Like for example,
Yeah.
I think we talked
Yeah.
about this a little bit, or maybe no, it was with my friend. I'm trying to get my friend on the podcast, the economist that you don't agree with. I think that would be an interesting
He's an
podcast, by the way.
economist? Are you sure he's an economist?
Yeah, he graduated in Penn State for economy.
Okay, good. Is that what
Yeah,
he's practicing?
no, but he does like he is up to date with
He's
everything. But
he's
he's
dialed
a
in. Okay.
filmmaker as well. He's a filmmaker as well.
All right. He's not an economist then. Moving on. No, I'm just kidding. Like maybe he is. I guess he is. He's probably right. He knows more than I do, I'm sure. But I've been investing for quite a bit, but I'm nothing compared to like I hired a financial advisor like maybe 3 years ago, but before that I was investing for like 8 years on my own. But anyways, he's way more advanced than I could ever be, and I couldn't even talk about this. But their earnings per share ratio on the Tesla stock was like out of this world stupid. It was stupidity, and somehow it caught up, and everybody shitted on Tesla. Tesla is doing really well. A lot of subsidies from the government. I think Palantir's in the same boat. It's even worse in some
They're
ways.
kind of
But
reliant on the government, on the subsidies from the government.
yes, and that's why it's hard to freaking short it, or that's hard to it's
Bet
hard
against
to
it. No, I
bet
understand.
against it because the U.S. government military industrial complex that you were talking about is backing it. So like, is it really
But
gonna fall?
we're dealing with something that is like while Trump might be part of the military industrial complex and the deep state, right? While that very well it may is true, whatever. anything could happen at any moment. Like this administration is so flip floppy and wishy washy and so like spur of the moment that for all you know, out of nowhere, they could cancel their contract with Anduril and Palantir out of nowhere.
Not with
You
Peter
know,
Thiel. No, Peter Thiel and him are too close.
maybe you're right. Maybe I underestimate how deep Peter Thiel is with all of this. He sounds like a chill guy, by the way. I would totally
Who?
sit down with Peter Thiel, and I'd be like, listen, I know you're talking a lot about the Antichrist, and I think that's great. I think that's a good move. How would you feel about a movie about the Antichrist? You know what I'm saying? How about we make a
With
movie about
jammers in it.
yeah. How about we put the Antichrist in jammers, Mr. Teal? You know, but yeah, they're tripping. I'll tell you something right now. If Palantir needs one thing, is they need an aspiring young filmmaker, producer to let the youth love them. Okay, the youth wants to love the technocratic elite. Let us love you. Okay, but you got to give us some love back.
Technocratically, that's kind of true. Yeah, so he's against it. I think he said in 2 years he's thinking it's gonna go really under. I think that's what he said, right?
In 2 years. Yeah,
which is interesting, dude, because I own quite a bit of it.
Yeah, that's why I've been.
But I've been shaving off of my holdings of it for the last 2.5 years because I bought it at $7 or $9.
You and everybody.
At the time, I didn't know anything about the stock. Really.
So think about it. If you're doing that, think about how many other people are doing that.
Yeah, but it's good to get your earnings in. But it's true, like it really isn't making that much money at all. It actually looks really bad on paper. The actual financial paper of it is bad, but it's the projection.
What was that thing he was saying? Was like
the future,
from the projections, from what he sees on paper compared to how many billionaires are running it.
Oh yeah. 5 billionaires are running it, so he thought that was interesting. But I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that because the PayPal mafia created everything, and there's like multiple billionaires in that, and they all jump around to different companies
that we're talking about.
That's my point. That's my point. Yeah. So can you bet against the PayPal mafia, who's now really connected into the White House? I don't know.
That's what he's saying. Yeah, that's why the backlash from Alex Karp. How dare you bet against the PayPal mafia, fucking motherfucker? You know what I mean? That's why the backlash. It's because that's what Michael Burry's doing, which is what I was saying. It's kind of a big deal. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, and he also said there's no clear sight. Like he doesn't know exactly when the stock market is going to fall because he alluded that it's kind of like the .com era, but he didn't know exactly when the peak is, and that's the scary part. Because if you listen to people like Michael Burry too much, people like yourself or myself or younger than us will never invest until it happens, and it could be tomorrow or it could be 10 years from now, and they just missed out on 10 years of gains.
But I don't think it warrants that. Like, I don't think it turns into that because this doesn't make me want to not invest. It makes me be more realistic with how I should invest. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yes and no, because like a lot of people that are following. Here's the thing: it's not even Michael Burry's fault. It's all the Michael Burry memes that seem popular. They take a lot of what he says out of context, and they just F everybody up. They mind F them, and then they're all fear-based. But what they at least should do is buy gold or buy silver, buy ammo, buy whatever. But a lot of this, I think, is fear-based, not Michael Burry, the memes, and it destroys people's future.
But the memes are funny. The memes are funny. It's like seeing that
I know it is
95% of items on Black Friday were financed. Just to do that?
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
So people were posting the Christian Bale meme where he's like looking at the computer, from the movie, where he's like, it's his face like,